Okay, our next topic is where we take an actual 2D shape like a triangle and then we rotate it around part of its shape in order to make a 3D shape out of it. And again, I'm giving you the link to this page so you can come over here and try this yourself, but I'm just going to show you how it works. So here's the link you're going to have, and let's start with a triangle. And again, this gives you a bunch of different options. I can change the view by pulling this, and I can turn it to do different shapes. And I'm going to take and put it back the way it was to begin with. And what's going to happen if I take this triangle and spin it all the way around? This shows how far you've spun it around. So if I just go part way, I don't have a full 3D shape there. And all the questions you're going to have on this actually go all the way around. So you can play around with seeing what happens if you just go halfway, but we're going to go all the way around. If I go all the way around, what shape have I created there? Well, that's a cone. So if I take a triangle and go all the way around, I've created a cone. I want you to draw it in on your notes what the final one would look like. The next one says, what if I have two circles, they're both the same size, and I'm rotating a rectangle around here? So again, I can change the radius of the circles. I can change how tall it is, and I can zoom in or out. And then this makes it actually go all the way around. If I rotate a rectangle around, what shape do I get? I get a cylinder. So draw that on your notes. The next one is, what if I take a circle and rotate it around the axis? What we get is a sphere. And again, you can zoom in, you can play around with the different things here to see how it works. Draw that in on your notes. And then this last one I think is the most interesting one. It has, what if I have a trapezoid and I rotate it? Well, I get this is actually called a truncated cone, but it's a cone that's had the top part cut off. But what if on this one I take and adjust so that this circle is the same as that circle? Well, I can do that by taking this one here and making its radius the same as the other radius. What do we get then? Oh, we get the cylinder. What if I take this one and make this radius exactly 0? And I rotate it. Oh, now I'm getting the cone. What if I take and make this one a negative, which actually means that they're crossing here? What I'm getting is two cones that are touching just in the middle here, and this is called a double cone. So there's all sorts of interesting ones we can get here. If we adjust the different sizes, you can see these different shapes. I'm also going to take you through a couple of questions so that we can do a couple of these questions and you see how the questions would actually work out before you get to your quiz. What if I gave you this picture and I said, what 3D solid would we make if we rotate this triangle around this line here? Well, he said if we take the triangle and rotate it around this line, we're going to get a cone. And let's look at the answer choices they gave us here. Here they say cylinders. No, we know it's not a cylinder. We know it's a cone. But would its height be 2 or would its height be 3? Well, if I rotate it this way around the line, this is going to be the height of the cone right there. So that would be a height of 3. And we got it right. Here's another one. What if we rotate this circle around this line? Well, that'll be a sphere, and the radius of that sphere will be the same 2 units that the circle was. What if I take this one and rotate it around this line? Notice it's not even at the edge, it's just going around here. Well, this part would still be inside and this part would be outside. And when we rotate a rectangle, we get a cylinder. And what would be the radius of that cylinder? Well, it would just be this part to the outside, which would just be 3 units there. That part would be inside, this part would be outside. So it'd be a cylinder with 3 units. What if I take this square and rotate it about this line? Well, this line goes right through the middle, and both of these are the same size. So as I rotate it, they're going to exactly match up, making the radius just from here to the outside of 1. And it says that's not an option here. What would the height be? Well, the height of the cylinder would be 4, and the radius would be 1. So that answer is actually not there. And we're going to do one more before we move on. What if I take this triangle and rotate it along this line? Well, the radius of this, it would make a cone. The radius would be 1. The height would be 0.5. Let's see if that's an option. Radius. That's not any of our options here. And we got it right. So that's how these kind of questions are going to work.